Hello, everybody. Buddy with Midland, Texas. For those people that don't know, on January 28, 2012, I was shot by somebody under my home with the phone lines cut and burglar alarms going off in the attic. Okay, this is a crazy, crazy story. I've documented multiple people saying tunnels, underground homes are here, including Ricky Ronaldo, said he used to live in my house and go in the tunnels under this house. Later that year, on December 19th, 2012, I was real frustrated. Lost my job, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, crippled for life, and I'm being called crazy, and I'm the victim of a premeditated murder attempt. I sent this email that went to the mayor and the DA Klingman, Wes Perry, who was the mayor at the time, Price Robinson, the chief of police, a whole bunch of press and friends, family, and I said, did I wake up in China? Did they legalize murder and not tell me about it? I think this email started a string of events. I'm going to show you. Okay, and like I said, it's sent it December 19th. By December 28th, they're on the news is broadcasting. They're looking for Eric Perez, wanted for capital attempted murder. Well, whoever, shot me, that's what they'd be wanted for, And so this was posted here at 4:20 or 5 o'clock, December 28th, by the staff for News West 9, showing a picture of Eric Perez. He's wanted for capital attempted murder. It also says he was on the run after attempting to run over a sheriff's deputy in Martin County. Okay, later that same day, that first news story got deleted by News West 9, and reporter Devin Sanchez, News West 9, reported a second story, and this one says he's wanted for fraudulent identities. All of a sudden, the capital attempted murder just kind of disappeared, And then it says Perez was driving a stolen Chevy Camaro and then took off. Well, my neighbor had a red Camaro that was wrecked at the time. Okay, here's the reporter, Devin Sanchez for News West 9. She was married to former Martin County Sheriff John Woodward. John Woodward was the very first person seen on camera driving up to my house with the spotlights on 19 minutes after I was shot and crawled out and left. Okay, he wasn't dispatched, and his name was illegally omitted from the police report. Okay, that was her husband. And this comes from the Odessa Police Department page. And what happened is they hired Devin Sanchez as the city's director of communication. And it shows where she used to work at News West 9 and CBS 7. I often send myself email to timestamp it. And so this one's December 29th. That was the day after them two news articles come out. And it was named Eric Ray Perez. And I wrote, News West 9 changed their story and now saying that Eric's wanted for using fraudulent identities. There's no retraction from last night's story of him being wanted for attempted capital murder. See, I wondered if he was, the one that shot me. I noticed today that the next door neighbor's red Camaro had been in an accident. There's a dent on the driver's side right front panel. Was this the stolen Camaro reported in the story? I was writing myself. Okay, this map from Google Street Maps, there's my home, and there's the next door neighbor's home, and then there's that red Camaro. What happened was a wrecker showed up, and they pulled that wrecked red Camaro up on that truck and hauled it off. That was the same time that I was reading this in the news about Eric Perez, trying to kill Martin County deputies. During the time that Eric Perez was on the run, I thought I saw him across the street. I drove up and the guy in the picture looked just like him. And what he was doing was loading laundry baskets from one vehicle to another vehicle at a house across the street from my house. So I called the police and I reported it right here on 1-3-13. Of course, you got to remember that the police had already falsely labeled me as a paranoid schizophrenic, even though I'd been cleared by the doctors, and I was a victim of a murder attempt. But here it is, Chris Perez. Well, the police come into my home, and I'm showing them on the security camera video. What happens? The burglar alarms go off in the attic. The burglar set them off on purpose, and they're like, "What's that?" And I said, "It's another home invasion." I mean, I heard somebody in my attic today. This has been going on. It doesn't matter how much proof you have. But anyways, they get a call, and Eric Perez sighting at Kelly Grimsley. They got to go, and so they go, and they barely miss him again. What the luck. Here's another news story from Devin Sanchez. Fugitive escapes authorities third time. On Thursday, he was spotted at Kelly Grimsley. Like I said, they were in my house when they got that call. Okay. And then Martin County Sheriff John Woodward, who's her husband, who said Perez crossed the line. Once he tried to kill one of my guys, the whole game changed. It said he actually also shot at the police. So he shot and tried to run over cops, This was Odessa American article that wasn't deleted, and this was after they arrested him, But they were saying he was reportedly shooting at deputies. So he shot at cops. Usually that ain't looked at very friendly, but as far as I know, he didn't go to jail for it, And so there's the Kelly Grimsley, and then he was caught on Texas Street in Odessa with a woman named Sonny Kunkel, okay, and she was charged with harboring a fugitive. I found this on the Facebook page for Eric Perez story, okay? And it was a comment from this guy, Mario Morales Sr., and he's talking to a woman named Laura. It says, Laura, you're right, but there are miles of difference from being perfect to harboring a criminal that tried to kill someone. This guy is tied to a drug cartel. Huge difference. Yes, we pray she's okay, but she needs to pay for her part of the crime, and she's not a kid. And I'm talking about Sonny Kunkel. That last comment made me wonder if he was talking about the guy who tried to kill was me. I don't know that. But anyway, here, this guy sent me Chris Perez, and that's what the police called Eric Perez, was Chris Perez. Sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I saw this post of his that I screenshotted. He said, one of the best feelings in the world is when the traffic light is about to turn red, so you haul ass to beat it, but it turns red halfway through. Then you look at the other cars around you, hauled ass to beat it too. Then you think, yeah, guys, we broke the law as a team. And I wondered if that wasn't a reference to what happened here, because I was told, the ex-wife told me in so many words, there was a lot of people here, and it seems to be a whole bunch of people that have just been wanting to cover up this violent crime against the innocent homeowner. This is an information request I sent to the city of Midland because I read in the news where they was wanted for capital attempted murder, and it said other crimes out of Lubbock County. Well, my daughter lived over there in Lubbock, and my ex-wife told me that she was ARD, and I wondered if it was something to do with my daughter, and I want to see the records, but I never got the records. I explained everything I told you in this video to him. And this is on YouTube. This was from Devin Sanchez too, and I'm going to show you about Eric Perez.
Did the truck and drive, and I took off.
That was Eric Perez back in December, and this.
Here I am, facing 5 to 99.
Is Eric Perez now. Perez crossed over 3 county lines in a span of 7 days back in December and January.
I think it was New Year's Day. I got pulled over in front of the airport, and I ditched the car again and took off running off foot.
Then a few days later, Perez ran again.
I was at Kelly Grimsley in Odessa, and I guess they saw my picture on the news, and they went in there trying to apprehend me, and I ran again.
But the next day, he was finally caught.
I guess that's whenever the marshals came, and I heard them pull up in front of the house. I looked out, and they were jumping out. I went to run out the back door, and they got me.
Now Perez is back in Martin County, bench warranted on the string of charges he racked up during his week on the run.
I'm looking at a felony 1 aggravated assault on the public servant and another evading charge.
Something Martin County Sheriff John Woodward is pleased to see happen.
It was a pretty high profile case with officers being endangered and threatened, so we're looking forward to ultimately getting some closure on it.
Perez knows he's facing serious time and has a word of advice to those who may be tempted to also run from the law.
So you're just running straight to prison. You know what I mean? The more you run, the more they're going to want to get you. And eventually you will get caught. Because it isn't just local police looking for you. It's going to be everybody, wherever you run to. Just that.
And so what he's saying is, if you try to shoot and kill an officer and you try to run over him, try to kill him, then don't run, And I'm thinking, I can't, as far as I know, he didn't go to jail for it, but I don't know that for a fact. Anyways, buddy, we're in Midland, Texas.